And today we have INT meeting, and it's January 26th, 4 p.m. And please call the roll.
Chairperson Wani Garza,
Here.
Vice Chair Ted Masiacos,
Present.
Alderman Jonathan Nunez,
Here.
Alderwoman Shweta Bade,
Here.
Alderman at Large Keith Larson,
Here.
5 present.
Okay. Approval of the minutes 26-0019 from a meeting we have on January 12, 2026.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion approved by Alderman Larson, second Alderman Jonathan Nunez. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed 5-0. Public comments?
No, we do not.
Okay. The first item in the agenda for today is 26-0009, a resolution authorizing the Director of Purchasing to enter an agreement with Fair, Graham, and Rockford, Illinois, to the amount of $135,380 to complete a comprehensive site investigation, 720 North Broadway, and submit the necessary reports to the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency, IEPA.
Hello, Ian Wade with the Engineering Division. So this is done as described in the memorandum as the next step toward our demolition of the central garage property at this address. As described, the folks that were previously in that building are now housed at the new Public Works maintenance facility. So we are looking to fully decommission this building and demolish it to get it ready for to market for future development. As part of that process, we did a request for qualifications from environmental consultants to perform the next phase in the environmental assessment, the Phase 2 site assessment. It was also brought to our attention that we had an opportunity to potentially apply for the leaking underground storage tank reimbursement fund to help us cover the cost of the removal of the underground fuel tanks. In addition to the site-wide assessment and documentation described here that we would need to submit as well. So I know it's all pretty technical, but if you happy to answer any questions.
Okay. So my understanding is that with the leaking or whatever they need, they're going to be another bill, right? Or another contract.
Correct. Yeah, this will be just to do the final sampling and testing that's required. Get confirmation that our removals will be covered, as well as their $32,000 cost here would also be covered under that program, minus just a deductible, which we are told is typically about $5,000. So we would know that before we went out to bid. So obviously we may modify our approach if it turns out we are ineligible, but our consultant is confident that this seems like the perfect type of case that typically would be eligible for that program.
Okay. Questions, comments?
Chairman.
Yes?
Thank you. The first couple of phases, what do they take away from those regarding the quality of the land?
Basically, a lot of the Phase 1 is kind of a desktop review, seeing the past uses for the site and things like that. There was also some preliminary Phase 2 that involved more direct sampling in the field, and that did encounter some contaminants that warranted this follow-up investigation. So it's not like a, alarms going off type of results that came with that, but it was pretty indicative of what we would expect to find at a site that had been used for fueling and things like that at this site. So nothing unexpected, but it definitely indicated that there was this additional work that was required.
Great. Thank you.
Yep.
Yes? Yes? Okay. Motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion approved, Alderman Larson.
Second.
Second, Alderman Nunez. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item in the agenda is 26-0014, a resolution to award a 36 Southeast Transmission Repair Project located in Ward 1 to Vortex Infrastructural Services, Inc., to the contract amount of $558,470.00.
Good afternoon, Kurt Muth with the Public Works Department. You may recall there was a presentation at the last City Council meeting about this repair, and giving you a heads up that it's coming forth. So we were able to get the contract reviewed and finalized with legal and bring it forth for approval. To give you a little background, this is one of our larger diameter water mains, has a leak on it now in a difficult location. Underneath the railroad in a casing pipe, Indian Creek is on the north side of the creek, and then on the south side is a large grade change, so there's a big hill to work with. We determined the best way to repair it is to line it. We reached out to a handful of companies we work with locally. Only a few of them even attempt to line pipe that size. Water main is a little bit more specialized and difficult to line than sanitary sewer. So we got a couple bids, quotes from them. We didn't do the traditional bidding process because we're trying to expedite this. And so we're recommending approval with the lowest bids of the two bids we got. And there are 2 other contracts that will move forward as part of this. We have a local contractor digging the access pits on either side, and we're utilizing the emergency repair contract that was approved last fall for that. And then we'll be purchasing the materials separately from a company, Mid-American in town, that bid on our emergency materials bid as well. So that's kind of how we're packaging this repair together. The liner itself takes about a month to fabricate and transport here, so that is already in process. That's one of the reasons why we presented it 2 weeks ago, so we could get that ball rolling. We're probably looking at doing the repair mid to late February at this point. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Comments, questions? Yes?
So between the quotes that we received, we're saving about 300,000, give or take, going with the lesser bid. Is that about right?
Yeah.
And they're just not replacing as much of a section compared to the higher bid? Make sure I read that correctly.
Originally, the quote we got for the second bid was double, but they were taking care of about 2.5 times the length. Once they revised their quote, yes, we're more in that savings that you mentioned.
Gotcha. And then I know there was a rough estimate regarding the total cost of the project, and we're not holding anyone to that yet because I know we're taking bids in last minute. So with the bid that we are going with, does that keep us around that general guesstimate that we had for the cost of the project?
Yeah, one of the big variables with the local company doing the excavation is we're going to be real close to the creek, and depending on how much water we have to contend with getting in the pit, the dewatering, because that pit needs to remain open for a week or so while they do the lining, is going to be a big variability. But that and the materials bid are both probably going to be around the $100,000 range, be my guess.
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes?
Just a quick question. Thank you, Kurt. How much time does this type of project take to complete?
For the excavation of the pits,
Yeah.
could be up to a week, and then the lining activity itself will be about a week. We have to cut out the pipe at each end, then they scrape and clean the host pipe, the ductile iron pipe, and then they push the liner through, and it takes about half a day to a day for this size of pipe, probably about a day to cure, and that's usually either with hot water or steam that it takes to set up and harden.
And all of the money is coming from water main improvement funds,
Correct.
contingency and everything?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Yes?
Thank you. So I know there's going to be some rerouting to get around this leak, and water usage is overall lower in the winter time here. But are there any service interruptions that residents might experience because of this, like water pressure changes?
Our water production division is aware of it and confident that there won't be any issues. We have, like you mentioned, the time of year and the lower water usage working as a benefit in this case.
Great, thank you.
More questions,
Madam
comments?
Chair, a few questions.
Yes?
Thank you, sir. Yep.
Mhm.
I was having some issues with my iPad. We all have, for a majority of us here on this dais right here today. So my apologies if I'm asking you a question that you've already answered. Just trying to get my information in front of me. How long is it going to take to line? And how's that going to affect the residents? Any shutdowns or for periods or what?
No, we're able to reroute the water throughout
Reroute
the
it?
system, and there's a lower water usage this time of year with people not watering their lawns, so that will benefit.
How do we
us.
reroute? What does that mean? How do we-
We have storage out east too.
So we're using wells
Yes.
or storage, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we have, for how long?
The water main, we anticipate could be out of service up to 2 weeks.
Up to 2 weeks, and so we have enough water out in the communities on the southeast side?
I
going
guess
east.
as a trial run, they did have to take the water main down when the Ohio Street Bridge was under construction for a time period.
Okay,
That was almost 10 years ago, but they were able to make it work at that point. So I think we have confidence that it'll be fine this time as well.
okay, all right, okay. And what's the lifespan typically on lining something of this size? Do we have any historical data?
At this point, I would say we don't. We treat it as a brand new pipe typically for lining of water main or sanitary sewer. We have lined water main in the past, but it's been within the last 6 or 7 years.
Okay, because it seems like, we discussed it in COW a little bit. I brought it up, how have we been looking into a secondary line? Seems like it's a critical point right there with under the railroad tracks. A lot of weight coming down at intervals, creating bounce in frequency, resonated frequency of weight down on that pipe, depending on how it was fortified, if at all.
Over the past 10 years, we have done some additional extensions in the northeast part of town, and we have another one coming up on North Aurora Road that's going to help cross in those critical railroad crossings. So I think we can look at our water main model to see if there's additional points that we need to extend to help with those situations.
All right, and this is my ultimate question. The budget there was a big focus on monetary decrements this past budget cycle. Did we discuss, or was ever brought up about doing some type of I don't know what they call that, doing some type of a survey of our water lines? You ever heard of something like the ball test, where you go through and you try to figure out where the challenges may be? Do we have anything that programmed into some type of cyclical review, an update, or no?
I think there was an attempt at something similar before I started here.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Right?
Yes.
And could you explain that process here for my colleagues on
I've not personally tried that method, but I've heard about it where they send a sensor through the system to take an analysis of it. We do perform leak detection of our system every year. I think we're on a 4-year cycle where we try and look for weaknesses in the system to improve them as well.
And how do we do that?
There's companies that have acoustic equipment that they listen for leaks.
So we do a different type. We don't do a ball type system. We do an acoustic. And where are we right now with that at this point in that cycle? You said it's a 4-year or 5-year?
We do a portion every year.
Oh, every year.
But we get through the whole system on that
Okay.
cycle.
All right, so it's part of the budget, something that's done
Correct.
every year?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And what's the cycle for this leak underneath the railroad tracks? Which cycle did it fall into? Do you know? It's okay if you don't know.
It wasn't identified as part of that effort. It was actually noticed when we had a Julie locate in the area.
Mhm.
There was a separate contractor doing work in the area, and
Okay,
so it just
Okay.
happened to be noticed.
all right. I'd be curious to know where it was when you did this test. Where does it fit in your cycle? You don't have to answer right now. I'm not trying to get you I'm not trying to trump the engineer. I'm
I
just
can look
curious.
at, yeah,
I just wanna
we're just
educate
gearing up
this
for this
committee
year's program,
myself.
and I can look to see which area we were targeting this year and see where it fell in that cycle.
Right,
get back to you.
okay. I know things can happen. I mean, you could probably get the test and it works great, and you walk away and boom, you know, there's a stress fracture of some kind, or a train comes over and boom, there you go, right? Not trying to assess blame with the question, is just trying to understand how it falls into our overall program. If we have this, what did you call it? It was a resonance kind, or what is it? A check system, what was it? Is there a formal name for it?
For the leak detection?
Yeah, leak detection.
Just acoustic leak
Just
detection.
acoustic detection?
Yeah, and we're always exploring other options. We've looked at satellite imagery that can try to identify leaks and with different levels of success, but we're always looking at different alternatives to try and predict what water main needs to be replaced and where these leaks occur.
Okay, all right. I was just looking into it a little bit on my own and just, you know, just happened to get this information about the ball test and wondering if we do something similar to that. So I thought it was pretty interesting when I heard about it.
I think we did attempt it before I started, but I don't remember hearing that it was very successful at that time, but that was over 10 years ago. So
Okay.
it's maybe something we might revisit at this
Okay.
point.
All right, my next question is, how much more do we anticipate in terms of cost coming forward approximately after this?
The other two contracts would not come before city council because they were already approved as on-call contracts. So this would be the only one. We do have this on tomorrow night's new business agenda. So it is skipping count, just so you are aware.
So with this resolution, so what are we talking about? Help me do the math if you can. Approximately what's the total cost we're looking at right now, ballpark?
Probably about $750,000 total.
Okay, all right. Well, it's a very important line. Can't walk away from it. So just want to have a basic idea. So thank you so much. Appreciate it, Madam Chair.
Okay. Can I have a motion?
Second.
Motion approved by Alderman Nunez, second Alderman Ted Masiacos. All in favor say aye.
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 Motion passed 5-0. Thank you. Next item is 26-0029, a resolution authorizing the acceptance of the lowest bid for Art Lip and Sons, Inc. to the amount of $664,500.00 for HVAC improvements in their Development Service Center with contingency of $33,225.
Derek Winston with Public Facilities. In a nutshell, basically what we're going to do is upgrade the HVAC system at the Development Service Center, and that'll include replacement of all the dual duct boxes, electronic or manual pneumatic thermostats, and also place that on our building automated control system. And that'll allow us to set scheduling, precise temperature control, and definitely energy savings.
They have a lot of things to do in this building. This building was a bank before, right?
Yes,
So now they have to put everything update to the codes.
correct.
Okay. Questions, comments? Yes?
Thank you. Could you speak to savings, energy savings that we might see from this upgrade?
We haven't really quantified it yet, but I mean, right now, it's all manual controls, so it's running whatever it was set at all night, where this will be able to set it to occupancy, and like from, during business hours, and then off-peak hours and over the weekend, then none of that stuff will be running.
Yeah,
Or at very minimal levels.
Okay. Yeah, if there's any way to just quantify that later, I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem.
Yes? Question?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Yes, Ted?
Yes, thank you. I have to have this question, not because I have to, but real quick, what type of systems are we putting in? Type of a system we're talking about?
So they're Honeywell thermostats systems, and then
Just
we're actually on
thermostats?
the Tritium building automation system, which we already have in place, and that'll add to the current platform.
And who oversees the system? Just our internal staff? We don't have a vendor?
We do have a vendor at the high level for high-level support, but on a daily basis, internal staff.
And who's our vendor for high-level support?
ICT.
ICT? Where are they out of?
I'm not sure. I'll
All
have to
right, all
verify.
right. And they're compatible, they understand the systems that we're putting in here, compatible with their knowledge?
Yes.
I would think so. It's just a boilerplate question, so. All right, thank you so much. And this is the Nelson Development Services Center, right?
Chuck B. Nelson.
Right, yeah, okay. Just want to make sure for my own person. But thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
More questions, comments? No? Can I have a motion?
One last question, if I may.
Okay, all right.
I know in the legislation text, it talks about 100 employees. Could you scan over what departments are actually in this building?
So you have the information technology, planning and zoning, training and development, currently fire prevention, but they will be moving later on.
Mhm.
Building and permits, property standards, and property development services admin.
It's a lot of departments impacted. Yeah, appreciate that. Thank you. Motion to approve.
Okay, motion approved by Alderman Nunez.
Second.
Second, Alderman Larson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passed 5-0. Thank you. Next item is 26-0043, a resolution authorizing the Director of Purchasing to adopt unit prices for the purchase of census water meters.
Good afternoon, INT Committee. Mike Houston, Superintendent of Water and Sewer. I'm here today requesting the committee approves unit pricing submitted by our sole source vendor, Core and Main, to purchase meters and accessories for new development applications and meter changeouts. Core and Main has committed to a 2-year pricing, as you can see on the quote, along with the table provided. The table shows most frequently used items with the price increases each year. With that, I'll take any questions.
Okay. Questions, comments?
Madam Chair?
Yes?
I know in the text it says that we can't really estimate how many we're going to need, based on the private sector and everything else. Is there at least a quantity that we committed to the sole provider to lock in this sort of pricing?
There's not a quantity that we provide because it's kind of hard to quantify how many meters we're going to change every year. So we obviously budget a certain amount of money each year for this expenditure, but a lot of that money is recouped for like new development fees.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of that money isn't just going out being spent on behalf of the city. So we do recoup a lot of those fees. Any meter change outs that we do from existing non-functioning meters, the city does pay for that. But any meters that might violate our ordinance, frozen meters, things like that, that's a cost to the homeowner. So, but yeah, I wish we had a dialed in number.
Yeah.
I can give you a dollar amount what we spent last year,
Mhm.
which was approximately $683,000 in meters, so out of the 900 budgeted. So, but yeah, I wish we can put a solid number on it. Historically, Core and Main would not commit to more than a year pricing, so I was able to at least get them to commit to 2 years, and it shows, which shows price increases as well. So I was at least happy for that one.
Yeah.
From them.
Could you just walk me through a situation where the city does replace the water main?
A water meter.
A water meter, I'm sorry.
At the
At the
city's-
residential,
At the residential
Yeah.
expense or at the?
at the city's
At the
expense.
city's expense, like say if they have an old brass meter that we still have some in the system still, that would be a charge occurred on the city, or if there was a faulty meter in the system anywhere that wasn't the resident's fault for some reason. A lot of times we'll take the meter out and we'll get it tested to see if there's actually something wrong with it. If it was non-functioning, and then that'll be for the city to replace as well too. So
there's a database of old brass ones, plus there's constant
yeah, and
monitoring.
that's typically managed through water billing.
Okay.
So water and sewer maintenance, water billing schedules all the appointments. We go out and do all the change outs. So,
I appreciate that insight.
and we buy all the materials too, obviously. So,
Thank you.
yep.
Okay. Motion approved by Alderman
Second.
Sutter Bate. Second, Alderman Telmesiacos. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
5-0. No other item in this agenda.
Motion adjourned.
Motion adjourned by Alderman Telmesiacos. Second, Alderman Nunez. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, I adjourn the meeting at 4:25. Thank you very much.